of marketing, right? And he's going to talk about behind the scenes a little bit of digital. So I think today some of these questions that come up are all going to work together. So I turn the stage over to you, sir. Enjoy.
Hello, welcome. Well, today is the Brand Academy Day of Brand Week. Therefore, I will not deliver a marketing presentation with a lot of buzzwords. I'm going to talk and tell a story about resetting to factory settings. Maybe some of you will like it, some of you will hate it, and so we're going to be far away from marketing cases. Well, actually, we have students in the room, we have people from professional life and also student in professional life, especially in the marketing professionals movie. There is this last scene. They always want to go to a quiet place away from Istanbul and start a small hotel or something. So, this is the ending scene usually, but how does the movie start? Let's see that.
Çocukluğumuzdan beri bildiğimiz bütün
But all the movies we know since our childhood start this way. And looking at it this way, we start out with a fresh page, with the factory settings not tempered at all. And on that blank page, some things are written as we live along. In adolescence, in family, in love, we undergo certain traumas, and those traumas start working on the factory settings. Sometimes those traumas create negative impact in our life, filling us with hatred and desire for vengeance. Or sometimes they push us toward more positive feelings, make us more hopeful toward life and people. And on the other hand, we need to make a living. And in this way, the factory settings are configured, and as we run into the need for making a living. Looking at today's context, looking at professional life today, specifically marketing life, we make our entry in this life. But before that, making that entry, we need to uninstall to free some room, some storage room. So we need to remove something because there are too many applications in us. And when we remove some of them, and the system will allow us to install the new package totally. So when we start uninstalling those, directly or indirectly, the marketing package starts loading, and that's exciting for us. A new life, a cool environment, and marketing makes its way into our life. Of course, the first step is orientation, which all of you are familiar with. I need to adapt to the new settings. How to do that? I will be added new values, result-oriented, personal development, ruthlessness, insomnia, confidence, terminology, politics, gossip, and ambition, and market environments. When all of those are installed on me, I'm now ready to be activated in marketing life. But sometimes the system will collapse. Like every system, sometimes our fuse is blown. In that case, comes in feedback, coaching, mentoring, pep talks, support. So that system can be fixed very easily through simple updates and bug fixes. So I can continue with my life where I left it from the place I took in my orientation. How does the process proceed? Here it is. I start as an intern, a specialist, or a brand manager, or ABM. Well, these are the honeymoon times, actually, in which I'm very happy, and then I become more senior. I start occupying some executive seats, and I start saying I should position myself better. I should make strategy because I get the taste, I get the feel for the seat. And then when I become a director, I say, well, isn't this, if this is not an achievement, what is? But that's not enough. There are more senior positions. And then I become a VP and EVP, and I say that's an undisputed goal. No need to talk about it. So, and once you reach the top of professional life, then you start dreaming about going to a quiet place, starting a small business, and then I start yearning for a consultant career, and I make my jubilee. So I can work as a consultant after all this experience. And after consultancy, I withdraw from everything. I become the captain of my boat, and I became the fourth person on a poker table. So interns, specialists, ABM, these are honeymoons. The environment is cool, people nice. I like my job. I should prove myself. Then this kind of ambition starts stepping in. And I find some original material and share them with my superiors to get their favor. So this kind of things, like we use products and promotions of our brands, and we advocate for our brand, we share it with people. So once we get more senior, we become saying, I don't like this environment, their office is better, or maybe I'm wasted here. So there are a lot of idiots here thanks to nepotism. Even if you do the small thing, you must pack it well, sell it to the right people, or you will be able to express efficiently whatever you do or don't do. So my DNA is getting transformed. So I try to expand my job definition, my powers and everything, just like competition in Game of Thrones. As I grow more senior, my problems increase. For example, I say, in other companies they give a BMW for my position, I still drive a Passat. Or if there aren't long weekends, I wouldn't take this job. Or sometimes you say, I wish I was just a specialist now. My friend Tarjan works in company Mokoko, and he has a narrower job definition. His salary is more than my salary, so start comparing with others. So I still do everything, the new team is doing nothing. The new generation sucks, and I keep spending my life in meetings. So all kinds of complaints. And I said, new problems emerge, saying with the performance bonus this year, can I buy a new boat? Or my image consultant came from the States, he works for Richard Branson. Or I use professional media professionally, I will crush you. Or everybody's sucking up to me, nobody's sincere. I go to Kenya all the time for a safari. This kind of problems emerge, and once we become a consultant, we say, well, I'm not nobody, I've done this for years. I used to be a great CEO. Look who I'm dealing with now. When will you make the payment? Well, for me it's all about the money. I work 3 days a week, 4 days I spend in Bodrum by the sea. Well, business consultancy won't do for you. You have to learn some manners. And once you become a captain, you say, I love organic agriculture, and we will meet, the book club will meet in the vineyard, or you can become a fourth player in a boat game, and or I'm sailing through the Mediterranean. All of these problems, these are the career steps for this kind of environment. So what kind of environment are we talking about? In this environment, there is a good deal of illusions. What you see is not what you get. Also, it makes you say ignorance is bliss. Can we say we agree, Mr. Reagan? You know, I know that this steak doesn't exist. When I put it in my mouth, the matrix tells me this steak is juicy and tasty. After 9 years, you know what I figured out? Ignorance is bliss. Well, actually, every day we eat this steak and we say, well, it's a nice steak anyway, why push it? And then we keep asking, is it real? If from one perspective, this is a rabbit hole in which Alice went, and from the other perspective, it is a world where career is the only constant. Also, the real world perception equals a business card, and also people represent themselves out of work hours with a business card. All of those will create a state of sustainable depression. So you have inner ticklings that are the result of a depression. And with that depression, this marketing life you experience, the perception of the marketing life, or sometimes the reality of the marketing life, is this. But this is the life of the target group, the target audience. So some of the applications we installed on our body, on our mind, at the expense of installing others, have created a new reality, and it has created a gap between my world and the world of my audience. Okay, what's the verdict? And what's the outcome? The outcome is a kind of marketing which has nothing to do sometimes with the target audience. And we say things that are not relevant to them, and so okay, you tell these, we can say, who cares? Who gives a hell? I mean, well, if you don't care, you don't have to listen the rest, and if it is important to you, I will keep on. So, what to do? If we care, what should we do? So the first question is, after all this depression, should we pack everything up and go to Çeşme or Bodrum? Actually, you don't need a magic wand. You don't need a new formula. There are several things here. If possible, you should run away from marketing books, marketing places, marketing people, marketing jargon, and if possible, you should feed yourself from cross disciplines that support marketing, because no marketing can describe better than Dostoevsky. No marketer can know human beings better than Dostoevsky. So, sociologically, anthropologically, psychologically, you can't find a better marketing context in just marketing environments. So you should nurture yourself from mathematics, psychology, literature, sociology, history, anthropology. So one of the most critical things here is to make use of these disciplines which complement marketing. Also, to spend more time in places where your target audience is spending time. So you should spend time in different subcultures, in family visits, markets, women's gatherings, and sometimes women's TV shows, that kind of places. So you ran from those, and you understood those, and you got stuck. If you ask for a pill, the first step is to know yourself, of course. In professional mathematics, which muscles of yours are stronger? Which actions of yours are better? How well do you know yourself? What is your passion? Where do you want to get to? What makes you happy? We need to know the answers to all of those questions. After knowing the answers, then you need to know life. Knowing life, knowing the culture, knowing the dynamics, the algorithms that are nurturing life. So that's another dimension. But before that, I should know myself and then start knowing life. Once I've done those, I will be strategically ready. And I should equip myself with the right tools, the right experience, right processes. I know my life, I know myself, I know life, and I have the right tools. Now I can go on field. Sometimes you will be stumbled, you will run into obstacles. In that moment, you need to define your own attitude and your principles. I will do this, I will not do this. If so, I will do that and not do that. So you need to draw your red lines. Unless you do that, you can't present your own attitude. And of course, you need to be yourself doing all of that. So, looking at it, it comes to you like a package which still contains a lot of illusions. So, the more you are yourself, the better the result, the outcome will be. Of course, we will get stuck, we will be tried, and then we need to breathe. We need to find places, friends, materials which will help us breathe. Because if you don't define the mathematics of breathing, we're not racehorses and we will lose our breath. You can just drink a cup of coffee by the sea, you can meet a friend, and you can read a book. Still you need to define the mathematics of breathing. And whatever may come, don't give up. After having done all of that, after having accomplished all of that, don't give up. You've done all that and it didn't work, then you also have to leave it to luck. If you say, I don't care about any of these, I would like to finish with this poster which says, here is the door, you may take it if you want.
Beautiful presentation, and thank you for your resets. He says so many valuable things about being in the world, right? Maybe we work in an industry, but we have to be alive. And I love this. Thank you so much. please, is there any questions? We are at the Brand Week Academy, right? We're not here just to push information at you. We are here to actually create dialogue. So please, open it up. Let's be interactive. Does anybody have any questions for such a beautiful speaker? You're all living in the life. I know it. Please, over here. Who has a microphone? Hello? Yes, there's a right here. Raise your hand again. Okay, it's coming. It's coming. Thank you so much.
Merhaba, ben Bircan.
Hello, I'm Bircan from Boğaziçi University. I want to ask you about equipping yourself. You said find the right tools or right things. Okay, it's great you make this advice, but how do we discern the right from the wrong? Which one is better for me, for my personality? Should we ask someone more experienced, or are there other ways of doing it? There's a very simple answer to that. Well, of course, it's easy to divorce if you're not married. So, when I said if you want pills, the books like Can You Be a Brand in 10 Steps? No, it's not that easy. I'm giving you the basics here. It's not enough for me to say just be yourself. All I expect is you get this notion in your head and you know you should be yourself. Then you make a mistake and then you will remember this splinter in your mind. I should be myself. Then you will make another mistake, then you will remember again it. And if you're not an idiot, you will not make the third mistake and be yourself. So it's about experience. It's a matter of time and experiences. But you will make mistakes, but at least you can avoid major mistakes than any game breakers. And once you can hold firmly on the steering wheel, it will take you to your destination. Well, I sound like a personal development guy. Güzel güzel, harika.
Here, so, okay, thank you.
Merhaba, adım Gökhan.
Hello, my name is Gökhan, Istanbul Bilgi University Advertising Department. Here is my question. You said that there are advantages to having cross disciplines in any area, including marketing. Should we focus more on those cross disciplines, or should we work on our area theoretically more? For example, should we focus more on marketing and advertising, or should we equally divide our time? Do you think it will impact recruitment or preference of employees? Oh yeah, it will impact. But I'm talking regardless of recruitment or hiring. Well, we can't look at the question with a linear thinking, which we inherited from Aristotle. You have to understand we live in a non-linear world. I have to do both. So, in the mathematics of hiring and in regular mathematics, I have to know my own field and I have to nurture from those other areas. I mean, focusing on one of them will narrow down your perspective. We're talking about enriching and broadening your perspective, and you will understand that focused theory better. Yeah, we should read more, definitely. Hello, I'm Tuğba from Bilgi University. I'm a student of a brand school in a master's program. First of all, I loved your presentation. Here's my question. Comparing to the previous generation, we really change too many jobs and transferring from one place to another. What do you think of that? That's very normal. It's not just about jobs. You change mobile phones, you change spouses, you change your car, way more than the previous generation. And old people, they used to date for 5, 6 months. Now you're dating for a couple of days. I think that is not an anomaly. That's the trend. That's the new world. And the companies will get to understand it. And in the older times, this was a stigma for an employee. This person is not stable or something. But now this is changing. Bir soru daha var. I'm an advertising student in Bilgi University. Just like you said, you told us not to give up, to progress in our career. No, I'll clarify. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't have to be a career. Whatever you're doing, don't give up. But especially in advertising, it's very difficult to go to the next level. When you start as an intern, you have to work very hard to become senior, and it could cause a burnout or a depression. And even if I do my best, things are sometimes not going the way I expected. So do you have an additional recommendation next to working hard to progress faster in a career? Well, I think you're just messing around with me. Anyway, if your job is your passion, if you are crazy about it, well, that internship depression you will overcome in no time. But if you're not certain as to what you're doing there, why you're there, then it will crush you. You will say, what the hell I'm doing here? What am I doing? I'm copying papers, I'm taking coffee. So maybe you're misplaced. Maybe you should find your place in that environment. Maybe there is a niche for you. You should ask this question. So if there's a problem, you can overcome it as long as you know who you are and where you want to go.
In the marketing, if I got the translation right, the energy, you have to tap into it, because when you participate in the system, that energy feeds you. So the burnout doesn't just come from working all the time. The work means something. And when you do that, that energy comes back, and it's like a battery. And then you want to do more, and you want to do it better. And I think that is what you are suggesting here. Mm-hmm. So, yes. Okay, there's the microphone down here, down front. We have one last question. Thank you for being interactive. This is what it should be. This is Brand Academy Day. Thank you.
Merhabalar, ben Çağlar. Öncelikle teşekkürler.
Hello, I'm Çağlar. My question is this. Where do you see yourself according to this presentation? What level are you? What's your dream? You want to be a captain? I don't see myself in that pyramid, but actually I am inside that pyramid, of course. But future-wise, I don't dream of a boat or any of those senior positions. Will you not be there? Maybe I will be there, but that's not where I draw my passion, my breath from. As long as I breathe, I will be walking in that parkour, in that pyramid. But I think I'm more happy about creating, about producing, writing, speaking. So I don't have this kind of game thinking, like I have to kill more people to progress.
Please
Merhaba.
catch UJ. We are all here today, so we are here for you.
Adım Mihri.
My name is Mihri Can. I'm a brand strategist. I've read your book too, and you have figured out the industry, the employees. So do you receive HR consultancy offers? Companies ask for your help? Well, I didn't receive a very specific consultancy offer. Well, you get that kind of offers all the time, but it is closely related to what you want to do. And if you're not breathing on that area, if it's not your own habitat, if you go there, you will run out of breath after a while, no matter how cool it looks on a card, a business card or anything. So I'm not certain as to if I want to work in that area. you can work as a consultant, but you have to focus more on what you love most. So, writing is preferable to me, but you remember the slide about making a living. That's a hard reality of life. Sometimes you have to choose things for making a living, but always make a priority to do what you love.
Okay. So the next session is really